How ordinary people build extraordinary wealth. You are not broken. Your paycheck is not the problem. Your work ethic is not the issue. The system you are operating within is simply designed for the wrong outcome. Most people spend their entire lives trading hours for paychecks. They wake up, go to work, earn money, and repeat. It feels responsible. It feels normal. But something whispers underneath that this cannot be the only way to live. Because real wealth, the kind that buys back your time and protects your future, does not come from working harder. It comes from a fundamental shift in how you see money, time, and value. This shift has a name. The ownership shift. It is the moment you stop being a worker and become an owner. The moment you stop earning income with your presence and start building income through your design. The moment money stops controlling your time and starts expanding it. Today, you will learn the principles wealthy people use to build assets that pay them forever. Not theory. Not hype. Just the timeless laws of ownership that turn ordinary people into financially free individuals. By the end of this audiobook, you will know exactly how to build your first asset, no matter your income. You will understand why systems beat effort every single time. And you will have a 7-day plan to begin your ownership journey today. No need to pause or take notes. There is a toolkit in the description with all the tools and a 7-day checklist. You can use it later. So take a breath, settle in, and prepare to see money in a completely different way. This is the ownership shift. The problem: trading time for money. There is a moment in most people's lives when something cracks open. Maybe it happens on a Sunday night when the alarm is set for Monday morning and your body tenses before you even fall asleep. Maybe it happens during a vacation when you realize you spent the entire week thinking about work instead of resting. Or maybe it happens when you look at your bank account and think, I have been working this hard for this long, and I am still here. That moment is not failure. That moment is clarity. It is the recognition that your entire financial life is built on a single, fragile premise. If you stop working, the money stops coming. Your income is rented, not owned. Society trains us to believe this is normal. Show up, work hard, get paid, repeat. But the truth is uncomfortable. If your lifestyle collapses the moment your body needs rest, then you do not have financial security. You have financial dependence. Real wealth begins when you break this dependence. Most people defend their situation with phrases like, that is just how life is, or, I need stability, or, I cannot take risks. But what if the greatest risk is staying exactly where you are? The wealthy see the world differently. Where most people see a job, they see a temporary stepping stone. Where most see income, they see raw material. Where most see effort, they see an opportunity to build something that works without them. They understand a simple truth. Your time is too valuable to trade for just enough money to survive. You were not born to exchange the hours of your life for temporary income. You were born to create systems that live beyond your effort. But before you can build assets, you must confront the real trap. It is not financial. It is psychological. Most people tie their identity to earning. They believe working hard is the same as building wealth. But hard work alone has never been the engine of prosperity. If it were, the hardest working people in the world would be the richest. They are not. Effort without leverage becomes exhaustion. And exhaustion steals creativity, clarity, and the desire to dream bigger. This is why wealthy people protect their time more than their money. Money can return. Time never does. When you understand this, a new path opens. The purpose of work is not to earn. The purpose of work is to build engines that earn for you later. There are two paths in life. Path 1, you work for money. You earn only when you show up. Your income reflects your hours. When you stop, everything stops. Path 2, money works for you. Your time becomes the seed. Your systems become the soil. Your assets become the trees. You build once, and the income continues whether you are working, resting, or sleeping. Most people are stuck on path 1, not because they lack intelligence, but because no one ever told them path 2 exists. Breaking free begins with a single question. What if my time was not the source of my income, but the architect of it? That question alone shifts your trajectory. You start thinking longer. You start noticing opportunities that were always there but invisible. Skills that can become products. Knowledge that can become assets. Ideas that can become systems. You realize the world has changed. Technology has leveled the playing field. You no longer need permission or capital to create something that outlives your effort. Today, anyone can become an asset builder if they learn to think like one. And thinking like an asset builder starts here. You separate your value from your labor. You separate your identity from your productivity. You separate your income from your presence. From that moment on, you are no longer controlled by the clock. You become the one who controls it. This is the first step toward freedom. A freedom built not on effort, but on structure. Not on hours, but on ownership. And once you take this step, your life will never look the same again. The framework, the asset triangle. Before you can build assets, you need a mental model. A simple structure that organizes everything you will learn. This structure is called the asset triangle. The asset triangle has three sides: cash flow, appreciation, and protection. Cash flow is income that arrives consistently, monthly, quarterly, or annually. It is the heartbeat of freedom. Examples include rental income, dividend stocks, digital products, and automated services. Cash flow gives you breathing room. It reduces pressure. It allows you to make decisions based on desire instead of desperation. Appreciation is growth over time. These are assets that increase in value the longer you hold them. Real estate, index funds, valuable skills, intellectual property, and well-positioned digital brands. Appreciation turns time into your ally. It transforms patience into profit. Protection is stability. These assets do not grow fast, but they preserve what you have built. Cash reserves, diversified portfolios, insurance, and legal structures. Protection is the overlooked pillar of wealth. No empire survives without walls. The asset triangle works because all three sides support each other. Cash flow gives freedom. Appreciation creates growth. Protection ensures survival. When these forces work together, you become financially unshakable. But here is what most people miss. You do not need to build all three at once. You only need to start with one. Cash flow. Because cash flowing assets fund the other two. If you are driving or working out, just listen. The toolkit has the full steps. The asset triangle is not complex. It is intentional. And intention is what separates workers from owners. From this point forward, every financial decision you make will pass through this filter. Does this create cash flow? Does this appreciate over time? Does this protect what I have built? When you think in triangles, wealth becomes predictable. Tool 1, the income audit. Your first tool is simple but powerful. The income audit. Most people have no idea where their income actually comes from or how fragile it is. The income audit answers three questions. How much of my income depends on my physical presence? How much of my income continues if I stop working for 30 days? How much of my income grows without additional effort? Here is how it works. Open a document or grab a piece of paper. List every source of income you have. Salary, freelance work, side gigs, investments, digital products, anything that puts money in your account. Next to each source, write one of three labels. Active, semi-passive, or passive. Active income stops the moment you stop. Salary, hourly wages, freelance projects. This is trading time for money. Semi-passive income requires occasional input but runs mostly on its own. A YouTube channel, a blog with ads, a small online store. Passive income works without you. Dividend stocks, rental properties managed by others, digital products that sell automatically. Now add up the percentages. If 95% of your income is active, you are living on borrowed time. If 50% is semi-passive, you are building momentum. If 30% or more is passive, you are approaching freedom. The goal is not to eliminate active income today. The goal is to see the truth clearly so you can start shifting your energy toward assets. Most people never do this exercise. They stay blind to their dependence. But you cannot fix what you cannot see. The income audit is your baseline. Your starting point. Your moment of clarity. Here is your 7-day mini experiment. Complete your income audit this week. Write down every income source. Label each one. Calculate the percentages. Then ask yourself one question. What is one small action I can take this month to increase my passive or semi-passive income by just 1%? That is it. 1%. Because 1% compounded over months becomes transformation. Common failure mode. People audit their income and feel discouraged because everything is active. The fix: reframe discouragement as clarity. You are not behind. You are aware. Awareness is the first step toward change. Celebrate the audit. It is the hardest part. If this is useful, subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. It helps more people find these audiobooks. Tool 2, the 1% asset rule. Now that you know where your income comes from, the next step is to start building assets without overwhelming yourself. This is where the 1% asset rule comes in. The rule is simple. Dedicate 1% of your income or 1% of your time each week to building an asset that can pay you later. 1% feels doable. It does not require you to quit your job or take massive risks. It simply asks for consistency. If you earn $3,000 a month, 1% is $30. That is one index fund contribution. 1 month of a domain name. One small investment in learning a new skill. If you work 40 hours a week, 1% is 24 minutes a day. That is enough time to write a blog post, record a short video, design a digital template, or research an investment opportunity. The 1% asset rule works because it removes the pressure of perfection. You are not trying to build an empire overnight. You are planting seeds. Here is the truth. Small actions repeated consistently create massive outcomes. One blog post does not change your life. But 50 blog posts over a year can generate traffic, authority, and income. One video does not build a brand. But 50 videos create a library that works for you forever. One $30 investment does not feel significant. But $30 invested every month for 10 years compounds into something powerful. The 1% asset rule protects you from burnout and impatience. It honors your current life while building your future life. Your 7-day mini experiment: choose one form of 1%. Either allocate 1% of your income to an asset this week, or spend 1% of your time building something. A post, a video, a product outline, a skill lesson, an investment. Just one. Then repeat it next week. And the week after that. Common failure mode: people start strong, then stop after 2 weeks because they do not see results. The fix: shift your metric. Do not measure results in weeks. Measure consistency in months. Your job is not to win fast. Your job is to show up. Results follow later. Quick recap, and remember, the toolkit is there so you can revisit this without rewinding. You have learned 2 tools so far. The income audit shows you where you are. The 1% asset rule shows you how to move forward without overwhelm. These 2 tools alone can shift your financial future if you use them consistently. But you are just getting started. Tool 3, the skill to asset map. You already own one of the most valuable assets in the world. Your skills. But most people never unlock them. They use their skills only to earn a salary, never realizing those same skills can become assets that pay forever. Tool 3 is the skill to asset map. It helps you see how your existing abilities can transform into income streams. Here is how it works. Write down 3 to 5 skills you have. These can be work skills, hobbies, or things people ask you for help with. Examples: writing clearly, explaining complex ideas simply, organizing projects, teaching patiently, solving problems quickly, designing visually, coding efficiently. Next to each skill, write one way it could become an asset. A guide, a course, a service, a template, a tool, a blog, a video series, a consulting offer. For example, if you are good at organizing, you could create a digital planner template and sell it online. If you explain things clearly, you could start a YouTube channel or write how-to guides. If you solve problems quickly, you could offer consulting or create case study content. The skill to asset map is not about having rare talents. It is about recognizing that what feels easy for you is often difficult for someone else. And difficulty creates demand. Your skills are quiet engines waiting to be turned on. Your 7-day mini experiment: pick one skill from your map. Create one small piece of content or one small product around it this week. A 500-word post. A 3-minute video. A simple template. A 1-page guide. Do not wait for perfection. Create something. Ship it. Learn from it. Common failure mode: people think their skills are too common or not valuable enough. The fix: remember that the internet is global. Even if 1 million people have your skill, billions do not. Your job is to serve the people who need what you know, not to impress the people who already know it. Tool 4, the digital foundation. You now understand your income, your 1% rule, and your skill map. The next step is to build the infrastructure that turns your efforts into assets. This is the digital foundation. A digital foundation is a simple online presence that captures value over time. It does not require a fancy website or expensive tools. It requires three things: a platform, consistency, and a way to capture attention. The platform can be YouTube, a blog, LinkedIn, a newsletter, an online store, or a simple social media account. Choose one based on where your audience spends time and what format you enjoy creating. Consistency means showing up regularly. Weekly is ideal. Twice a month works. The rhythm matters more than the frequency. Capturing attention means creating content that solves problems, teaches skills, entertains, or inspires. Every piece of content is a seed. Some seeds grow fast. Others take years. But every seed has potential. The digital foundation works because the internet rewards accumulation. One post might get 10 views. But 100 posts might get 10,000 views. The compound effect is real. Your 7-day mini experiment: set up your platform this week. If you already have one, commit to posting once this week. One video. One article. One post. Just one. Common failure mode: people delay starting because they want everything to be perfect first. The fix: launch before you are ready. The best time to start was 5 years ago. The second best time is now. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Tool 5, the protection layer. Building assets is important. Protecting them is equally important. Tool 5 is the protection layer. It ensures that what you build does not disappear the first time life gets hard. The protection layer has 3 parts: an emergency fund, diversification, and boundaries. An emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of basic expenses saved in a separate account. This fund protects you from panic decisions. It gives you space to think, to wait, to choose wisely instead of desperately. Diversification means not putting all your effort or money into one asset. If you build only a YouTube channel and the algorithm changes, you are vulnerable. If you invest only in one stock and it crashes, you lose everything. Spread your energy across multiple asset types. Boundaries mean protecting your time and attention. Wealth is not just money. Wealth is the freedom to focus. Say no to distractions. Say no to opportunities that drain you. Say no to people who do not respect your goals. The protection layer feels boring compared to growth strategies. But boring wins. Boring survives. Boring compounds. Your 7-day mini experiment: this week, open a separate savings account for your emergency fund. Even if you can only put $20 in it, start. Name it something meaningful like Freedom Fund or Breathing Room. Common failure mode: people skip the protection layer because it feels slow and unglamorous. The fix: reframe protection as power. The emergency fund is not a safety net. It is leverage. It gives you the power to walk away from bad situations and the patience to wait for good opportunities. Tool 6, the leverage test. Not all work is equal. Some work pays you once. Other work pays you forever. Tool 6 is the leverage test. It helps you decide where to invest your time. The test asks one question: if I do this work today, will it still create value 1 year from now? If the answer is yes, it has leverage. If the answer is no, it is maintenance work. Examples of leverage work: recording a video that lives online forever. Writing a blog post that ranks in search engines. Creating a product that sells automatically. Building a system that runs without you. Examples of maintenance work: checking email. Attending unnecessary meetings. Doing tasks that disappear the moment you finish them. Leverage work compounds. Maintenance work evaporates. The goal is not to eliminate maintenance work entirely. Life requires some of it. The goal is to shift the ratio. Spend more time on leverage. Less time on maintenance. Your 7-day mini experiment: this week, track your time for 3 days. At the end of each day, ask yourself, how much of today's work will still matter in 1 year? If the answer is less than 20%, adjust your schedule. Common failure mode: people feel guilty reducing maintenance work because it feels productive in the moment. The fix: productivity is not the same as progress. Being busy is not the same as building wealth. Leverage work feels slower at first but pays exponentially later. Midpoint recap. You are halfway through this audiobook. Let me give you the 60-second version of everything so far. Wealth begins when you stop trading time for money and start building assets that work without you. The asset triangle has 3 sides: cash flow, appreciation, and protection. You need all 3, but you start with one. Your 6 tools so far are: the income audit to see your starting point, the 1% asset rule to start building without overwhelm, the skill to asset map to unlock what you already know, the digital foundation to create long-term value online, the protection layer to safeguard what you build, and the leverage test to focus on work that compounds. If you only do one thing from the first half, do this. Complete your income audit and commit to the 1% asset rule for the next 30 days. That alone will shift your trajectory. In the next chapter, we move from understanding to execution. You will learn how to manage your time like an investor, protect your energy like a CEO, and build your first asset using the prototype protocol. Keep listening. The second half is where everything accelerates. Tool 7, the time budget reframe. Most people budget their money but never budget their time. This is a mistake. Time is your most finite resource. Once spent, it never returns. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. Tool 7 is the time budget reframe. It treats your hours the same way you treat your dollars. Here is how it works. You have 168 hours every week. Subtract sleep, work, and basic life maintenance. You are left with maybe 30 to 50 discretionary hours. Those hours are your wealth building budget. Every hour you spend watching TV, scrolling social media, or doing low-value tasks is an hour you are not investing in assets. The time budget reframe does not ask you to work more. It asks you to choose better. Instead of spending 3 hours watching shows, spend 2 hours watching and 1 hour creating. Instead of scrolling for 30 minutes, spend 15 minutes learning a skill. Small shifts compound. Your 7-day mini-experiment. This week, reclaim just 3 hours from low-value activities. Use those 3 hours to work on an asset. 1 hour to plan. 1 hour to create. 1 hour to learn. Common failure mode. People feel guilty enjoying rest or entertainment. The fix: rest is essential. Entertainment is fine. But make it intentional. If you choose to rest, rest fully. If you choose to build, build fully. The problem is not rest. The problem is mindless drift. Tool 8, the energy economics. Time is finite, but energy is variable. You can have 10 hours in a day and accomplish nothing if your energy is depleted. Tool 8 is energy economics. It focuses on protecting and directing your energy toward high-value work. Energy economics has 3 principles. Principle 1, energy follows structure. When your environment is chaotic, your energy scatters. When your environment is organized, your energy focuses. Create routines that protect your peak hours. Principle 2, energy is depleted by decision fatigue. Every choice you make drains a little energy. Reduce unnecessary decisions. Automate what you can. Batch similar tasks. Decide once, execute many times. Principle 3, energy compounds with wins. Small victories build momentum. Break big goals into tiny milestones. Celebrate progress. Momentum creates more energy than discipline ever will. Your 7-day mini-experiment. Identify your 2 highest energy hours each day. Protect those hours fiercely. Use them only for leverage work. No meetings. No email. No distractions. Just building. Common failure mode. People ignore their energy patterns and force productivity at the wrong times. The fix: work with your biology, not against it. If you are a morning person, build in the morning. If you think clearly at night, build at night. Stop trying to fit someone else's schedule. Tool 9, the prototype protocol. Most people never start building assets because they wait for perfect conditions, perfect knowledge, or perfect confidence. Tool 9 is the prototype protocol. It eliminates perfectionism and replaces it with action. The prototype protocol works in 3 steps. Step 1, build the smallest version of your asset. Not the full course. Just one lesson. Not the entire blog. Just one post. Not the complete product. Just one feature. Step 2, ship it to a small audience. 10 people. 5 people. Even 1 person. Get feedback. Learn what works. Adjust what does not. Step 3. Iterate quickly. Use the feedback to improve version 2. Then ship version 2. Repeat. The prototype protocol treats every asset as an experiment. Experiments remove pressure. You are not launching a final product. You are testing an idea. And tests cannot fail. They only produce data. Your 7-day mini-experiment: choose one asset idea. Build the smallest possible version this week. A 1-page guide. A 3-minute video. A simple template. Then share it with at least 3 people and ask for honest feedback. Common failure mode: people prototype once, get lukewarm feedback, and quit. The fix: remember that version 1 is never your best work. Every successful creator has a graveyard of bad first attempts. Your job is not to be great immediately. Your job is to improve consistently. Tool 10, the minimum viable asset. You now have all the pieces. The final tool brings them together. Tool 10 is the minimum viable asset. It is the simplest asset you can build that produces value and can grow over time. A minimum viable asset is not fancy. It is functional. It solves one problem for one group of people. It can be created in days or weeks, not months or years. Examples: a YouTube channel with 10 videos teaching a specific skill. A digital guide solving a common problem in your field. A simple online service offering what you already know how to do. An automated email sequence that builds trust and leads to an offer. A template or tool that saves people time. The minimum viable asset has 3 characteristics. It provides clear value. It can scale without requiring more of your time. And it improves with feedback. Your 7-day mini-experiment: define your minimum viable asset this week. Write 1 sentence describing what it is, who it serves, and what problem it solves. Then break it into 5 small tasks and complete the first one. Common failure mode: people confuse minimum viable with low quality. The fix: minimum viable does not mean bad. It means focused. It means starting with clarity instead of complexity. Quality comes from iteration, not hesitation. The 2-minute version. You have now learned 10 tools. Here is the version you can use today if you are short on time. Do this right now. Step 1. Complete your income audit. Write down every income source and label it active, semi-passive, or passive. Step 2. Commit to the 1% asset rule. Choose one thing. Either invest 1% of your income into an asset, or spend 1% of your time building something that can pay you later. Step 3. Identify one skill you have and one way to turn it into an asset. Write it down. Step 4. Choose one platform. YouTube, a blog, LinkedIn, a newsletter, anything. Commit to posting once this week. Step 5. Protect your energy. Block 2 hours this week for leverage work only. No distractions. That is it. 5 steps. 2 minutes to decide. Then execute over the next 7 days. This is exactly what the toolkit is for. So keep listening now, then use the checklist later when you are at your desk. The 7-day Rewire Plan. Let me walk you through exactly what to do each day for the next 7 days. Day 1. Complete your income audit. 20 minutes. List every income source, label each one, and calculate your percentages. Write down one insight from what you discover. Day 2. Choose your 1%. 15 minutes. Decide whether you will invest 1% of your income or 1% of your time into asset building. Write down your commitment. Day 3. Map one skill to one asset. 20 minutes. Identify one skill you have and brainstorm 3 ways it could become an asset. Choose the simplest one. Day 4. Set up your digital foundation. 30 minutes. Choose your platform. Create an account if needed. Write your first post, record your first video, or draft your first email. Do not overthink it. Day 5. Start your protection layer. 15 minutes. Open a separate savings account. Transfer any amount into it. Even $10 counts. Name the account something meaningful. Day 6. Conduct your leverage test. 20 minutes. Review your calendar from the past week. How much time did you spend on work that will still matter in 1 year? Adjust your next week accordingly. Day 7. Build your minimum viable asset outline. 30 minutes. Write 1 sentence defining your first asset. Then break it into 5 tasks. Complete task 1 today. Total time investment for the week, About 2.5 hours spread across 7 days. That is 20 minutes a day. If you follow this plan, you will have audited your income, committed to building, mapped a skill, started a platform, begun protecting your wealth, and outlined your first real asset. All in 1 week. That is the power of structure. That is the power of small, consistent action. Let me leave you with 3 truths. 1. Wealth is not built by the lucky or the privileged. Wealth is built by people who understand that time is currency and systems multiply effort. 2. You do not need more money to start. You need direction. You need the asset triangle. You need the 10 tools you just learned. You need the willingness to begin with 1%. 3. Freedom is not a fantasy. It is a structure. And that structure starts with 1 decision, 1 asset, 1 day at a time. Your life is about to change, not because of what you learn today, but because of what you do tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. And check out the free toolkit in the description so you do not have to take notes. And share this with one friend who feels trapped trading time for money. Once they start building assets, their entire life will open. You are no longer just a worker. You are a builder. You are an owner. And tonight, as you rest, let this truth settle in. Wealth was never out of reach. You were just looking in the wrong direction. Now you know where to look. Now you know how to build. Now you know the ownership shift. Go build something that pays you forever.